I just got back from a 2-week trip to Japan, and while it was primarily a snowboarding trip, I also got to go explore some stores in Tokyo. Here are 5 really cool pieces of gear that I was able to bring back with me that I think you might like. So this is Snow Peak's updated mini Hozuki lantern. It has 3 modes: high, low, a strobe, and a candle mode. So I may do a separate video that fully reviews this thing and deep dives into what I like about it and what I don't. But for now, I'll just give you a quick little rapid fire. The pros: it's small, it's durable, it's not waterproof, but it's water resistant. Big one for me, it has a candle mode, and I'll show some B-roll right now of what the candle mode looks like. The last huge pro is the fact that it's USB-C rechargeable. If you're gonna go look for one of these on their website or on Amazon or something, be very careful that you're getting the USB-C rechargeable one and not the one that takes AAA batteries. That's huge for me. I want everything in my kit to have USB-C. Oh, and lastly, another big pro is the battery life. I've only charged this thing once and I've been using it for like 2 or 3 weeks straight now, and it hasn't run out. It's rated at like 60 hours on high power mode and 100 hours on low power mode. Okay, there's a few cons, but they're not many. The first one is the candle mode flicker is still a little too abrupt. It hasn't perfectly gotten that candle simulation, that candle flicker down, but it's close, and so I give them a good pass for that. Another con, something that I like to see in pretty much all lights these days, is a red light mode. I really love having a red light mode so that I can use something before I go to bed and not worry about, affecting my sleep quality, or even just killing my night vision when I'm out camping or something like that. So I think most small little LED lights like this should have a red light mode, and that's something that's missing from this one. Lastly, on the cons list, it is definitely a lantern, and a lantern generally is meant to be hung. The way that the light comes out of this thing, it all comes out from the bottom, and so you can't really get a ton of light if you just set it down on the table. If you're actually using it for light output, it needs to be hung up, and so that's just something you need to consider. It's not like a real candle in that way. There is a little magnetic closure here, so you can put this on something that you can hang, something magnetic that you can hang it off of, or you can loop it around and like hook it onto a carabiner or something like that. So that's super cool. So finally, the cost for this bad boy, it's actually shown as $70 USD on their website. I got it for cheaper than that because I bought it in Japan directly. And I'll talk more at the end about some pro tips for buying stuff in Japan, and I'll share what my actual conversion rate ended up being, so you can see just how big of a difference it actually is to buy something in Japan and bring it back as opposed to ordering it online. Next up, we've got this Patagonia and Miir. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it. It's M-I-I-R. I'm gonna say Miir. This is just like a 12-ounce tumbler, and it was mostly just a souvenir. I saw it in the Patagonia store. Pretty much everything in the Patagonia store was exactly like what I'm used to seeing in the US. So I was looking for Tokyo specific stuff or Japan specific stuff. This bottle has the wave, classic piece of imagery from Japan on it, and it says Tokyo on it. Cost, this was about $30. I don't think you can buy it online. I think it's an in-store exclusive. I don't know, I saw someone on eBay selling this for like $100, but that's kind of ridiculous. There's nothing really that special about it other than the fact that it says Tokyo on it. All right, so up next, I went into the Montbell store. And Montbell, if you're not super familiar with it, I wasn't before I went over there. It's another really cool Japanese retailer of outdoor equipment. It was a lot like an REI, like one of the flagship REI stores here in the US. There was like an indoor waterfall and like a climbing wall, and the store was just like really cool to see. So definitely worth checking it out if you're in Tokyo in the Shibuya area. This is a Montbell poncho, definitely sort of an impulse purchase. I was like, I gotta get something from here, and I was on the hunt for a specific jacket that I had seen recommended, and it was out of stock. So I had to find something, and I got this poncho. I already have a Patagonia rain jacket that you could have seen in my previous video about what I carry with me just walking around in urban travels. But I think this could actually be a better choice in an urban setting because it packs so small and it covers your backpack. The cost for this, if you look on the Montbell website in the US, it's like $110. I ended up getting it for $70 in Japan at the Montbell store. Number 4, I went to the store called A&F Outdoor. I wanted some like souvenir type items to bring back for my family. So I got this brass whistle that is made in Japan. And I also got a nice little brass compass. They're super high quality and they're a little bit heavy, which is nice. Like they have a good heft to them. Compass actually works. A lot of these little pocket compasses that you can get that are like keychain compasses, I guess, don't really work, but this one appears to be working legitimately. Who knows how long it'll last. As far as costs, I think these were each about 20 bucks a pop, which is certainly a lot, but they're made out of brass and they're made in Japan, and that was worth it for me. And last, but certainly not least, also from the Snow Peak store, you know I had to get some collapsible chopsticks. These are sick. They're made out of titanium and bamboo. They come in a really nice travel carry case. They're collapsible, so you just pop them out, undo the lid here on the end. It's got a little black brass lid with a rubber gasket. Pull out the bamboo piece, you screw it on, boom. You've got a super nice bamboo and titanium chopstick. Now, I'm far from a chopstick expert, but I got a lot better over my 2 weeks in Japan. So I'm actually really stoked to use these on a backpacking trip. They're not really that practical. I feel like a spork or one of the long titanium sporks that Snow Peak also sells are probably more practical, but these are just super cool and they're commemorative of my trip in Japan. Cost for these, if you look them up in the US, is about $50 USD. So speaking of costs, I actually went back and wrote down, based on my credit card statements, what the actual costs of these were, and then compared them to the US costs. And I was expecting there to be like maybe a 10 or 15% difference. But actually what I found was that, like, for example, this poncho, it was $70 in Japan. That's what my credit card statement says that I paid for it. If you look it up in the US, it's $110 plus tax. The increase from $70 to $110 is 57%. So that is a huge difference. The Snow Peak stuff, for the chopsticks and the mini Hazuki lantern, I spent $91 total. That would be $120 in the US, so that's almost a 30% difference as well. So a little pro tip about that, when you're paying with credit card in Japan, they usually prompt you to select Japanese yen or US dollars. And you should pretty much always select Japanese yen, because the exchange rate that your credit card company is gonna give you, like Chase, for example, they're gonna give you a more favorable exchange rate than the retail store will actually give you. So you pretty much always wanna pay in the local currency if given the option. All right, that's all I've got. Thank you very much for watching.